Hi Leo, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your March 2022 tarot reading. Thanks to those of you who like, viewed, shared, subscribed, donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic crossbred as always, and also pulled the 4 agreements, oracle card, and Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus will be as far as that goes. So let's see what we get. Alright, well, we have the moon. And actually, at the time of recording this, we haven't had that Leo full moon in your sign yet. So that might even be as early as that, where you might feel the significance of the moon. But definitely keep an eye on the lunar cycles in March as well. There's going to be a new moon in Pisces pretty much right at the beginning of March. And then a couple weeks after that, you have the full moon in Virgo, which is your second house. All right, we have 3, third house communication. So speaking of Virgo, like I said, there will be a full moon in Virgo. So actually, no, excuse me, for you guys, that's Libra. My apologies. So yeah, third house of communication is Libra for you guys. Nothing really going on there, astrologically speaking. But maybe I was seeing this out the corner of my eye because we do have Virgo here. And for you guys, Virgo is your second house finances, and there will be that full moon in Virgo. It's actually going to be a pretty supportive full moon as far as it's going to have a trine with Pluto. So as far as finances and your work lives go, that might actually be a pretty positive full moon, but that's what I see with that. But yeah, sorry about that whole third house thing. That's definitely Libra for you guys. All right, so getting into your spread. In the main situation position, we have the Chariot. So this is actually the major arcana card for Cancer, and of course Cancer is ruled by the moon. But beyond that, this could just be saying that there might have been some ideas that you guys have had for a while now, and it could just be saying that now is the time to actually act on those ideas. The reason why I'm thinking along the lines of ideas is because Cancer energy being 12th house energy for you guys, I feel like these are things that you probably had in your mind for a while, but you just haven't acted on them yet. And I feel like this is showing that the time to take action on them would be this month. All right. In the challenger obstacle position, we have the 2 of Swords, which is Libra energy, and we have the 7 of Swords, which is Aquarius energy. So third house communication does show up here as a challenge. We did just have the Mercury retrograde cycle that ended recently. It's still in the shadow period, which might be why I'm a hot mess with speaking right now as we speak. But yeah, so we did have that cycle just wrap up recently. But with this showing up in the challenge position with that 7 of Swords, I feel like this is more of a cautionary thing, which is to say, well, I could see it playing out a couple different ways. One thing could just be saying, try not to focus on small details too long to where you might miss out on the bigger opportunity, right? Because if we think about those 2 swords there representing the same 2 swords that she's holding, we see someone making out with way more swords in the process, right? So could just be saying if you overthink something, you might end up missing an opportunity in that regard. But another way I could see this playing out too could just be saying to watch out for what's going on in your environment. Because while you might be focusing on some things, there might be others in your environment that might be doing things behind your back that are less than ideal. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And for some of you, there could even be an awareness of that in your mind, but for whatever reason, you might be turning a blind eye to it. So you might have your suspicions that, I don't know if I could trust this person or these people, right? And really, there's actually reason for you to feel that way, but you just might be turning a blind eye to it at this time. All right, in the foundation position, we have the Page of Swords. So yeah, this looks like I was saying with the Chariot energy, this could just be something that you've had in mind for a while, you just haven't acted on it. And I feel like this month you will be actually feeling the need to actually take action to communicate what this idea is. Again, be careful about who you share those ideas with ahead of time, right? So I would say try to restrict the amount of people you give your ideas to until you're actually able to go public with it, right? So for example, if you make a plan to do something the first week of April and you tell a couple of people in your inner circle, hey, this is what I'm going to do in April, just be on the lookout for that because they might try to steal that idea. You know what I mean? Just not for all of you, but that's how I could see that challenge position playing out. But yeah, it looks like something that you've had in mind for a while now. You can actually step forward to communicate that idea. There could still be a bit of nervousness around it. Maybe you feel like the timing isn't quite right. But given that we do see the Chariot there, I feel like the timing is right. It could just be that you might not feel like you're quite ready yet. All right. In the past position, we have the Eight of Cups. So this is actually Pisces energy here. So even though I haven't, I'm recording this pretty much in the middle of February, but we haven't officially reached these degrees of Pisces, which is the first 10 degrees of Pisces. That's very end of February. But given that this is showing up in the past position for a March reading, could just be saying that that might be a timeline for you guys. So possibly, for example, after this Leo full moon you guys have, you might decide to leave something behind, and coming into March, that would show why this is in the past position. But either way, it does look like you are deciding to leave something behind. For some of you, could have been something that you invested a lot of time into, possibly even money, energy into. But yeah, it looks like something that you've been involved with for quite some time, but it looks like you're deciding to leave that behind. In the present position, we have the Ten of Swords. So yeah, seeing this is another indicator of an ending, so it could just be as simple as emotionally you might have decided to walk away from something a little bit before you actually communicated it, right? So you might have made the decision a few weeks earlier, and then you actually finally communicate to people, hey, this is my decision, I'm moving on, right? Could just be as simple as that. Or in a more mundane sense, like let's say it's a job thing, right? Okay, you made your decision that you're leaving a job, you put in your 2 week notice, and then okay, there's the 2 week period that you're still there, and then you finally officially leaving the job. So just a couple of different ways I could see that playing out. But yeah, overall, I feel like this is an ending that you guys would be initiating. I don't necessarily feel like it's an ending being brought to you. And like I said, for those of you, it could just be as simple as an ending to that thought process where I was saying with the Chariot, it looks like this is an idea you've had for a while, but you just haven't been ready to take action on it yet. Near future position, we have the Four of Wands. So this is Aries energy here. And obviously this is a bright celebratory type of energy. It's like a Mars and Jupiter mixture, in a positive sense, of course. But yeah, looks like this could just be saying that for some of you, whatever this is, even if you go through a bit of a dark time through leaving it behind, given that this is a March reading, I feel like in the near future you'd be feeling this within the month of March. But for some of you who might not feel it right away, I would say at the very latest, by the time we get into mid-April, when we get to these degrees of Aries, you guys would be feeling like, okay, that was a relief. I'm on the right path now for sure, and I'm seeing proof of that in my external environment. So that's what I see with that. But yeah, either way, it looks like you're expanding your horizons for sure, and there's something to celebrate around that. All right. In the position of your influence in a situation, we have the Sun. So yeah, this definitely looks like a light, playful energy. So it looks like you guys are going to be reconnecting in that way, even if you've gone through a bit of a rough stretch where you've had some ideas in mind and you've been going a little bit dark, right? Maybe not communicating with people as much. This looks like you will be re-emerging this month for sure. Probably getting some public recognition around what this situation is. Like I said, for a lot of you, I feel like this might be some creative idea you've had for a while, and maybe you're working out the details behind the scenes, and now it looks like this month you'll finally be able to actually bring it out. And this could just be as simple as the fact that as we get toward the end of March, we'll be in Aries season, so having the Sun in the supportive fire sign could just be having you feeling energized in that regard as well. All right, in the environment position, we have the Tower. So yeah, this to me ties into what we were seeing with that Seven of Swords there. So I feel like this is more going to impact people around you, rather than you directly. So for example, if there is someone who tries to steal an idea of yours or just tries to be deceptive in some way, I feel like it will backfire on them for sure this month, given that this is showing up in the environment position. But even with that in mind, I would still say just be cautious around who you're dealing with this month. Make sure that you don't share too much information if you're not fully sure you can trust them, especially because, like I said, with that Two of Swords, I feel like deep down you might feel like you can't trust them, but you might turn a blind eye to that. I would say this wouldn't be the best month to do that. And if you have something in your gut telling you, yeah, I don't know if I should trust the situation, I would roll with that this month. But yeah, like I said, for the majority of you, this looks like it's going to be more something that impacts people in your environment rather than you directly. But can't help to be a little cautious there. It's just I see a lot of bright energy on your side, so I doubt it's going to impact you directly. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the Queen of Wands. So this is Aries energy here. So yeah, again, could just be saying that you had that hope, right, to actually take action on something. So maybe this was something that ideally maybe you would have wanted to act on sooner, but you might have just felt like the timing wasn't right. And now it could just be as simple as now you might see things in your environment that do show you, that kind of give you that green light, like, okay, now is the right time. So that's what I see with that. And again, could just be as simple as saying that as we enter into Aries season, that's when you really start to see those indicators externally, like, okay, yeah, now is the time to move. You know, for the most part, I mean, the Venus retrograde shadow period will be wrapped up as we officially start March. Same thing with Mercury. So for some of you, you might even feel it very early in March, but I feel like what that's saying is worst case as we get toward the end of March and you're in more fire energy, you'll feel it more. All right. In the outcome position, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, speaking of timing and everything here, this is Jupiter. And for you guys, you have Jupiter in your, let's see, that's your 8th house. So if this was around some kind of investment, right, or possibly even seeing returns on an investment, that could definitely be a good indicator of that as well. But yeah, Neptune, especially, excuse me, not Neptune, Jupiter, given that, especially that it's in Pisces, and we were talking about how the chariot energy representing your 12th house could just be saying that these are ideas you might have been working on for a long time, and now you could actually bring them out into fruition. This is another good indicator of that, right? So whatever creative ideas you've had beneath the surface for a while, this looks like a good time to put them out there. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Wands. So another indicator that, this is probably some idea that you've had, and this could just be saying that, yes, this would be the time to act on it. And beneath that, we actually see the 10 of Cups as well. So another good indicator of a completion there. So that looks like the timing is right. Whatever this is that you guys have been working on, looks like this month will be a good month to finally bring it out. All right. So moving on to your 4 agreements card, we have be impeccable with your word, and it says be a white magician. And the actual message itself says all the magic you possess is based on your word, and you cast spells all the time with your opinions. You can either put a spell on someone with your word, or you can release someone from a spell. So, interesting message there around communication. So, hopefully that resonated with you. And your Wisdom of the Oracle card is Thinker. There's the artwork, and the number is 44. I think Aries got this card as well. Other than that, this is a pretty different reading than what they had overall. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they had that exact Oracle card too. So given that we do see some Aries energy in here, if you're dealing with an Aries or you have an Aries placement, you might want to check that reading out as well. Okay, it says strategy, being analytical and logical. The Oracle's message. The ability to reason and strategize is the focus now. Take things at face value and follow the logical path. Your calculations will prove to be correct, for in this moment there is no deeper meaning than what is obvious. Things are exactly as they seem. You have all the information you need. Keep it simple and you will win the game of life you're playing right now. So, pretty positive message there, and with the strategy part, that makes me feel like what I was saying there as far as be careful around who you share your ideas with until you're actually able to go public with them, because there might be someone in your environment that might not have the best intentions. Although, like I said, with that tower showing up in the environment, it's probably not going to work out in their favor anyway, but couldn't hurt to be a little cautious. All right. The relationship message says love is not logical, but when you choose a partner, it is good to have things in common other than desire. This is a time to weigh the pros and cons of your partnership. If there is enough common ground, go for it. If not, there are other fish in the sea. Don't force it to work. And should others tell you who they are, take them at their word. Now is not the time to indulge in a fantasy. No matter what, in this case, the facts are the facts. So, I mean, I didn't get a huge romantic relationship vibe from this reading, but worst case, the love readings will be out probably within the next week, so you could be on the lookout for those. The prosperity message says calculated action is called for now. It's important to sit down and plan a strategy. Focus on the steps you're going to take to claim your prosperous life. List are your friends now, so get out your journal. Write down what you're going to do today to signal to the universe that you're serious about attracting abundance. Your plans and strategies will yield wonderful results. Remember, your most effective strategic partner is spirit. You will win this game and you will triumph. You will win this game and your triumph will be for the highest good of all. So yeah, pretty positive message there. Like I said, it definitely looks like something that you've probably had an idea about for a while now. Looks like this would be a good time to act on it. That seems to support that as well. And like we said, we see the Wheel of Fortune in the outcome, the Sun card in your position. So definitely looks like there's going to be some supportive energy for you guys this month. All right. And lastly, we have a mudra for you guys. So this is your mudra here. It's the Matsya mudra, and the keyword for it is integration. All right. And there's the info on it if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say. But under benefits, it says activates the body's self-healing potential, increases suppleness, improves concentration, generates feelings of devotion and compassion. So if that sounds like a mudra you think would be beneficial for you guys, we'll put the name of it in the description of the video. As always, we'll wrap up there and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.